All right, this is a video I have been meaning to do probably for 5 years. Why in the world do people struggle so much with these ratchet straps? Well, I don't know, but I'm here to help. And I'll tell you why these are difficult, because there's a really easy way to use these, and there's about 19 different ways on how not to use them, and I'm going to show you both in this video. First, I'm going to show you how to properly use this. So here is the strap with the side of the strap with the hook and the ratchet. And as you can hear, when it ratchets, basically what it's doing is it's moving these teeth over this spring, and it's allowing it to then lock in place. So the biggest, well, not the biggest, probably the most common way to use these is if you're going to strap something down, you'll have one hook on one end, and then you'll have the other hook hooked to something else, and you're going to want to make this tight. It's a pretty simple concept, right? But where people go wrong is how they start off the actual ratchet part. So here's how you use these. There's going to be a slot in the middle. You're going to come with your tail, as I call it. You're going to come from the outside in. So you're going to go straight through that little slot. See how it goes through that slot? Then you're going to pull the tail until this end is tight. So if this is latched onto something over here, say a trailer or an eyelet of some kind, and it's tight, that's when you first start your ratchet process. So what you're going to do is, once this is tight on this end and this is latched, you're going to take your tail and you're going to come through the hole right here. So again, it's nothing, it can move freely, but it's taut on this end and on this end. You're going to take your tail and you're going to come right through the big hole. You're going to basically loop this over like this until this tail is now hooked basically on the other end, and now it's going the opposite way. So now that it's tight, so your hook goes over here and it's tight, that's when you start to ratchet. And when you do that, you're going to see how it overlays itself, and it slowly starts to fill into this, I don't even know what you call this, and it starts to fill up, meaning it's now double the amount of fabric, but it's tight. So it basically pinches itself, for lack of a better term. And this spring right here is holding this piece of metal so that, again, it doesn't release itself. Now, here's mistake number one. People do this. They just keep ratcheting and keep ratcheting and keep ratcheting because they didn't make this end tight, and then this fills up with fabric, and guess what? Eventually, it's going to fill up to the point where you can't do this anymore, and your other end is not tight. So make sure before you start to ratchet, you have both ends taut by pulling your tail through. Now, again, when you're done, just fold it over, and it's locked. It's not going anywhere. Easiest way to open these things and to now release it is you take your finger and you put it on this tab and you pull down. See, it's a spring. See how that moves? Pull that down, and then what'll happen is you can slowly start to pull this off, and then voila, by holding this spring down, this allows it to free spool, and you can undo your strap, undo whatever you have strapped down. It's that simple. So, in review, start from the outside in, loop it over through the big hole, tighten it on both ends, ratchet it down. Pretty simple. Make sure this doesn't fill up here, and when you're done, push this down, and away it goes. Hope that helps.